I'm delighted today to have Nadine Weiss with me. She is the president of Complete Demolition, located in Los Angeles, California. She specializes in interior removals and concrete demolition. I'm really thankful, Nadine, you can be with us today. So welcome to the Edge of Success podcast.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me on.
I always like to start with learning a little bit about people's background, how you got into this business. I'll call it your entrepreneurial journey. You can share with people.
Sure. So I've always been an entrepreneur. Had my lemonade stand or the no job too small when I was 10 years old. Flyers that went out the door, and that continued through college, which, while not paying into my studies, I joined a group that worked on small businesses for undergraduates, and I started a bath store. I can't think of the actual brand now. It's out of business now. So from there, it went on. And through my 20s, I was in advertising sales, and then I took a break to have kids, and my dad called me one day and said, hey, I need some help with this demolition company that he had started on the 15 years prior. And the key employees had taken off with most of the business, and he wanted some help on marketing. So I said, Dad, why are you bothering me? You don't need this. I don't have time for this. You should just shut it down. And he said, I never asked you for anything, and I'm asking you for one day a week. What was I going to say no to my dad? Needless to say, that's where it started. It wasn't a linear path, but about a year later, he was about to sell it. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he said, now you're interested? And I said, yes, I am. So I took a weekend to think about it and talk to my husband. We were under the misconception that I could spend some more time at the beginning, but it could be a 20-hour-a-week side gig. Needless to say, here we are 7 years since then, approximately, and many overnight work and probably 18-hour days for the first 5 years. And now we have concrete demo and pour back.
In every business, Nadine, there are always things that if you could avoid that and I never had to do that again the rest of my life, I'd be really happy. And then there are things that you really love about what you're doing. As you think about your business, what do you really love about what you're doing? What kind of lights you up that just keeps you going from day to day?
I find it fascinating that when we make changes and adjustments here, you can see the results so fast in process, in sales, in marketing. And so it's really amazing to have that kind of power to change things. I don't remember as an employee ever making a change that really just little changes had big effect. As a business owner, I find little changes have big effect.
So kind of almost really the challenge of the opportunity of being able to make those decisions and get the results that you're after, even sometimes beyond what you think will happen. Sounds interesting. There are also in any industry, any line of work, there are always some challenges. We hear about the success stories, but we often don't talk about the challenges. What are some almost unique challenges for your space, for your industry, what you do in your business?
Well, I know your audience is probably not California-based, but the comments about California and the difficulties in the laws and regulation, I think California needs either tort reform, the workers' comp system is broken. The ability for old Joe to sue cannot be overstated. So that's what I really can't stand about our business. Now, that's not just in concrete and demo.
Right. Yeah. In addition to challenges, there are also opportunities. As you think about where you are and the future of your company, what would be some exciting things that you're thinking about or that you see on the horizon that are opportunities for you as a business owner or as a company owner?
So during every slow time, there's been a silver lining, whether we found efficiencies or we added another service line. We've been slow-ish the last 6 months, last 2 quarters. We're looking at expanding the concrete cutting and demo. And I see that my clients really want more structural concrete work done. So even if we just had a footing work, not just trenched concrete, but more extensive trench concrete, we're essentially leaving money on the table with our clients. So that's where we see the growth possibility.
Okay. Sounds like you've been pretty good at pivoting iterations as the market, recognizing those opportunities that come your way. Sometimes you're not looking for them, but it pops up and think, well, maybe we should look at this or maybe we should look at that. So it sounds like you've been pretty innovative in that way. Another thing I like to find out about business owners is as you start a business, there are always things that you learn along the way. Sometimes you learn things not to do because you try it and it doesn't work. Sometimes you learn things to do because, hey, you tried that and it did work. What are some things you feel like you've learned that have been very helpful for you?
Well, for anyone else, I would say set up the legal side of what you do with employees, create a moat around what you do. We're working a lot on efficiencies right now, what we can do better. We're using AI to just analyze things and give us ideas. We've been able to automate a bunch of our paperwork via AI, telling us how to do it. The past quarters, I kind of said all the good things we've grown with are a result of slow time, difficult times.
Okay. As I close here, let's say someone's interested in your space. They want to learn more about your industry. Maybe they're younger, maybe like you were when you first started, and they're looking for a career or thinking about a space. Is there any one piece of advice that you might give to someone who's interested in your industry that would be helpful for them as they're just considering the possibility of what you're doing?
Invest in the whole "this too shall pass" attitude in life and saying yes, trying new things, working your butt off and saying this shall pass when it's boring or upsetting. Just make sure you're in a position to meet more people and learn new things no matter what you're doing.
Okay, so just almost jump in, give it a try.
Give everything a try and work your butt off, and people will notice you, and you'll be surprised at what opportunities come your way.
Well, Nadine, if someone maybe in the LA area or whatever might be interested in hiring you or knowing more about your company, what would be a good way for them to connect with you?
They can reach out to our office via hr@completedemolition.org or ping us on our Facebook page or our LinkedIn. We see those right away.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I appreciate so much you spending a little time with us today so we can learn about you and about your company. And I certainly wish you well in your growth, and I wish you well in your endeavors. Thank you so much again for spending some time with me today.
Thanks for having me.